right, so are we recording? I think so. So yeah, I don't know what to the thing that I should start, but it's really great to see you guys. So yeah, Sawasdee Krap, Sawasdee. Okay, so as for this episode, I invited not only one guy but also two guys from the same, I would say, same major, right? Yeah, same major, and also from even so, because they are now currently on their master degree, their previous degree, their bachelor degree was also same. So I would like to give it to you guys, introduce you guys to my friends, Kaif and also Pendi. So yeah.
What should I can tell for you?
Um, maybe just like yeah, just to introduce yourself.
Okay. Okay. My name is Alkaif Rafi Gamgali. You can call me Kaif. And right now I'm a master student in Nanoscience and Technology Chulalongkorn University. And especially in the second semester, I think.
Yeah, you're currently like on the second semester.
Yeah. Um, Hello guys. My name is Ahmad Efendi, but people usually call me Pendi. I am in a master degree at Department of Nanoscience and Technology, same with Kaif, and I'm also in the second semester. Okay.
Right. So, without further ado, I think so. We go to our first session. Okay. Speaking of your first question was always talking about the background, of course. So, as for my first question, like, can you tell me about your educational background, right? Because I only like mentioned that you go with the same major, but yeah, maybe you can like go more expanded explain it more viewer about your educational background and how did you on ended up in here like become interested with your current degree. Yeah, maybe Kai or Randy.
For me, I'm a student, I'm sorry. For my previous study backgrounds, I'm from Islamic State University. Yes, of Malang, you know. I'm from Belgium actually. I think from Belgium to nanoscience, like I'm jumped really, really far because it's quite different from biology to nanotechnology. But why I choose nanotechnology from biology is because my previous research is like about nanoparticles, synthesis nanoparticle for anti-aging or something like that. Yeah, so it's like interesting for me because I look uh, in the future, maybe if nanotechnology or nanoscience it will be a great future, I think. And why I choose Chulalongkorn University is because um, I have been here before in 2020 for doing some exchange, something like that. So I feel like yes, but at the time I feel like I'm like comfortable with the society and the environment. So I chose this university.
How about you?
Well, yeah, my previous degree was biology. I'm actually at the same project with Kaif and also at the same advisor. And why I choose nanotechnology today is basically, yeah, it's nanotechnology is new in Indonesia, especially. And maybe in the future, nanotechnology will be a, a great developed by many people. And well, the things that actually happen in that time is that I actually not interested to join in the nanotechnology program because yeah I searched many advisor that can maybe being my advisor in that time and my first choice is it was microbiology. It's it's kind of like maybe related to biology because like yeah it's part of biology. But in that time, the advisors cannot um, being my advisor because she she has to be doing the a postdoc, yeah, postdoc. And then I asked Kaif, and should I choose nanotechnology, same as you or not? And I see the advisor, and yeah, I I choose one of the advisor that interested for me, and but it's different from Kaif. Yeah, that's basically why I choose July. That is just because the advisor is kind of interesting.
Right. So, okay, guys. So the thing that I could say that because Kaif was used to get the internship right in here, and yeah, internship or maybe exchange, I would say, yeah, and he was kind of interest with the university, the Chula, and Fendi was kind of about accident. And I just kidding. Okay, just kidding, just kidding. Okay, yeah, but before with the next question, I would also like to say that before even like I go into my current major, I used to be very interested also with biology, especially with the machine learning and also with bioinformatics. But unfortunately, the job in Indonesia, especially like the job vacancy was always on needed the consultant or needed the very high expertise, yeah, for the bioinformatician. While I was just like being an enthusiast, so it was a bit hard, to make a job of the bioinformatic as my hobby. Speaking of which, can you also like say maybe I've have mentioned this before, but can you like tell me more about like how interconnected your previous degree in biology into your current research, and especially in terms of knowledge and also field or maybe scope of your work, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, like biology with nanoscience is, I think like we have like a large gap between nanoscience and biotechnology because the nanoscience actually more related to physics and chemistry. Yeah, because uh, so maybe for to interconnect the nanoscience and biologies to um about the application of the nanoscience in this work, I choose like how to apply the nanoscience in biomedical field. So in this way, I cannot interconnect my previous study and my current study because with I apply the nanoscience in biomedical, so I can use my previous knowledge in biology to this works, so something like that. Because actually, totally not actually totally the nanoscience is from the courses and the other things like to it's really physics and chemistry because we have to study like a lot of equation, a lot of something like yeah, something chemistry, something like that. It's a little bit not little bit. It's really hard for me to study it. So I think to interconnect is like just from the application of the nanoscience itself.
Yeah, I agree with Kaif because my current research is like not get into the nanoscience, but it's like an application of nanoscience in a biomedical application, or not in biomedical, but it's in mine. It's like in a cosmetic. So yeah, so basically, the biology, my previous degree is very useful here because in my labs there's a lot of people working on the chemistry and then how to develop the biomaterials or something like that, but there's no people that work in the application of that biomaterials to be like applicated in the cosmetic or biomedical. So that's would be my work.
So very interest very interesting. Yeah, it's a bit hard, yeah, I think that it's kind of bit hard because maybe you already like meet with, yeah, in your high school, you maybe like already meet with the physics or maybe with the chemistry, but to be able to refresh that knowledge, right? It's a bit hard, even like for me, because yeah, it's always, even though like we've been met with that course before, like let's say physics or thermodynamics, stoichiometric, something like that. When we are meeting with that, or when we are relearning about that again, it's somehow it's kind of, I don't say it makes you more comfortable, or something like that. I think it makes you more, yeah, I think when you are relearning something, it's not more easier, I think it's more harder. Yeah, it's more harder. I don't know. Maybe I thought it's just like for me, but I think you guys also feel the same thing. Maybe you all already like say much many about your background, but before like we are going to our next session, maybe any interesting story you want to share again about maybe your background, or yeah, any interesting story, other interesting story, like uh maybe your current past experience, or your, yeah, especially your current past experience, and what makes that experience meant you, or yeah, meant you into who you are, like, so something like that, or yeah, you want to also share that kind of story? Did you have that, or
Maybe I will tell about my story because how I get the some kind of like internship in here,
okay,
because it's the one way that I have been here, and I will choose Chula as my next study, because at that time actually my major in my undergrad study too, um they don't they didn't like prepare anything. Yes, it's like a spontaneous act, like they uh like invite the professor from Chula as a guest lecturer. Then the professor from Chula did tell to us that we have internship program, something like this, like this, like this. We have like benefit, something like this. And my uh, head major at the time say, "Oh yeah, so for any student who wants to apply in this program, you can apply." And we got selected. We get, and just I think 6 people uh fly to Chula to do it. And because we have not prepared yet for uh, my major at the time, so I cannot choose any course that related to my major. So actually at the time, it's kind of like I have to study in 36 credits in one semester because I cannot like transfer uh my grade from Chula to my university. So they just like, oh yes, so you can study in Chula also in your university. So oh, it's okay, it's okay. I can do it. I can study for 36 degrees, 30 credit in a semester. But because of that, I have lower GPA every time.
of course.
Yes,
Yeah, because
because divide, yes. Then because, and also in Chula, because in Chula I have internship in botany major, and in botany major they don't have like international program for undergrad. So I have to join in grade, yes, master class. So it's like really really hard. I don't understand anything. So it's, yes, kind of advanced courses. So because of that, and a lot of courses in my major in Indonesia, it's like, wow, it's really really hard for me. It is kind of like I'm not living anymore at that time, because yeah, I have really really downgrade my GPA at the semester. It's kind of like, it's funny, but it's like saddest thing.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe you can feel like, "Ah, it's okay," but it's not okay also.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. How about you, Mandy, already? Yeah.
I think I don't have any interesting
Ah.
things.
Okay. Yeah. So as we can see right now, so that's why I think Kaif is one of the brightest, I would say. Yeah, one of the brightest master degree because he's been through so much courses, 36 in what in one semester, in one semester of course. When we are usually just get maybe 20 or 24. Yeah, you got like one and a half. Yeah, one and a half. So okay, we go to the next session. Okay, I would um I would like ask you something about your knowledge usage, right? Your knowledge application. Like, can you give us like the examples of your on how your knowledge of your biology has actually influenced the 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 the, the research on your material science, like because I think been mentioning before, right? You're using your biology expertise into your current research, which is a bit of biomedical, right? Can you like explain it more on how actually your works, especially in the biomedical, or maybe vice versa? Yeah, in biomedical and talking about the biology, something like that. Maybe can you?
Okay. Well, my current works is about delivering drug into skin and how they like about the penetration of the drug and something like the efficacy of the drug can um, penetrate into the skin and something like that. But when we talk about biology, biology is like a very wide knowledge, right? And there's a lot of part of biology, such as microbiology, botany, biotechnology, and something like that. But what can I apply today is that biology is in my work is about the application of zoology. It's like a knowledge that about what zoology is like animal things like that. And then when we applied in the material sciences, I think it's not really related, right? It's just like application, as I mentioned before. But like when we practice about how can we know about the efficacy of drug, we have to like practice it in vivo. We call it in vitro, in vivo, maybe right? Like in vitro, we have to mimicking the environment in a like petri dish or something like that. And also when in vivo we applied it into the mouse or rat or something like that. So the practice that in that kind of test, we have it. We already learned when we was in a undergraduate. So it's kind of yeah useful. Maybe. And when we talk about like a biomaterials, I think it's not it's not really related to biology, right? But yeah, as I mentioned, it's the application of nanomaterials or biomaterials that we used today is like to to make a connection with the biological things. Maybe.
Yeah, for me, for information at short, my current work is like about fabricate the tissue engineering material, something like that. So it's like to fabricate the material to mimic our body, something maybe in the bones, maybe the skin or other thing, or vascular, something like that, or kidney or organ, something like that. So uh, I in this time I use my previous knowledge from biology, like because in my previous major, I learned about anatomy, like something like histology, and about our human body, stuff like that. But it's not like deeply learn about it, but just to cover my knowledge about this general knowledge about that, because in biology we have to learn a lot of things, because maybe for the like medical science, maybe we can learned a lot about the anatomy, human anatomy, and something like this. So, but the biology is not really deeply learned. We have to learn a lot of things. So maybe just the surface, I think. But it is enough for me. I use my previous knowledge in my current research, like uh, because my application, I want to apply the nanomaterial for biomedical application, especially for this engineering. So I know how can I apply the materials is how can I apply this? How can I choose the materials? How the criteria, the material that I have to choose to apply in as tissue engineering and something like that. So maybe I know like if I apply this material, so my or human body will how the response of the human body. So maybe this is the useful of my previous knowledge to my current research.
So somehow it was still interconnected, and somehow at the same time you have to learn new things, right? Yeah, that's what makes it challenge and also interesting to take on, right? I when like you guys are explaining it to me, I also in my head I also remembering one of my teacher in Indonesia, one of my teacher when I was still in the bioprocess. He said that learning biology is same like you are learning history,
Yeah.
because the knowledge was so fast, especially in the current era, right? IoT, and also we also learning about the AI, machine learning, something like that. You will always get a new information, and that new information might also changing or updating the old information, right? So if you like, so I think the biology book is not a thing anymore. I don't know, because like the thing that if you are buying the biology book, yeah, biology or something kind of book, something like that, it's always like, yeah, it's already in the past, right? The information will not be the same. That's and also that the second thing was talking about the material science. I don't know, I think that one of your uh degree was, I think, the most creative degree, I would say, because there is always a new innovation in material, right? Either it was making a new material, or maybe making the current material more effective or something like that. Even like comparing to other degree, I would say that the degree of freedom, or yeah, the degree of freedom of your current degree was very, 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 very wide. And it was also very interesting to see like how further can material science can go, right? So based on that, I have this question. Like, how do you see like the application? Because as I tell you, right, the application was sort of very, 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 not very, very narrow. It's that it was very, very wide. And how do you like see the material science, especially in the biological, or maybe biomedical or something like that, related in your scope of work, actually evolve in the future? So like your prediction, like how big, or how, yeah, how it becomes like more more intriguing, or yeah, more big. Like how do you see the trend actually for your both biology and also the material science? Maybe Kai or Fendi? Maybe first. Oh, Fendi first. Right.
So because my work is still like being developed by my labs, right? And when I see the trends about microneedle, it's basically like a specific what can I say, specific product that related to bio nanomaterials, or the application of materials that used in the body. And I think it will be more very like when we apply it to other kind of application, not only in a biomedical but also in a biosensors, and also in a energy or something like that. It's still related. And what can I say is that like when we talk about biology, as you mentioned before, biology is not about not about history, but it's about like um the current knowledge and the future knowledge that maybe it's different from the past, because sometimes when we for example, when we talk about some species in the past, it's grouped in one family, but today's is under different families, something like that. It's kind of the knowledge is still
Will always.
yeah, will always growing or something like that. From this perspective.
Actually, I'm not sure about the perspective. How can the nanomaterial will improve in the future? Because I see right now the nanomaterials is like has cover up all of the field. So maybe it really like it will more develop to get more efficient material or something. Because actually in my work, related to my work, is it's still in like a 3D print for tissue engineering, something like that. Maybe in the future we can like fabricate or synthesize like material that can grow itself. Maybe something like it's like a crazy things, I think, because uh yes, because nanotechnology is like fast knowledge, like because and it's depend on the problem right now, because it's like problem solving, like, so if we get this problem, so we can solve with the nanomaterial or something like. So how can the nanomaterials and science develop is depend on what the problem can happen in the future or something like that.
Completely agree. Completely agree. And yeah, talking about the fast knowledge, right? Uh, it is really fast knowledge, and even to think about that, the second thing that I was being thinking about is our beloved country, Indonesia, of course. So maybe this also because we already say about the trend and about how it will be like evolve. In your perspective, in your own perspective, like how mature or how ready enough Indonesia, as a country, to be able to like following or maybe like taking a step towards this kind of material science knowledge, because like comparing the technology in Indonesia to Singapore is too far. Of course, it's too far, but at least can like Indonesia at least have the same path or maybe same pace like in our current country, right? Like Thailand. I mean that we believe that there are so many smart Indonesian people. There are so many like intelligent Indonesian people, and uh, there are so many actually resource or so many problems that actually that we can solve using your expertise, right? Using your knowledge, especially in the nanoscience and also material science. But back to the question, right? How mature or how ready enough did you think that Indonesia uh, actually regarding to this knowledge, right? Or regarding to this research kind of study, something like that.
Um, from my view, it's like Indonesia is like, I cannot say Indonesia not really mature. I cannot say like that, but also I cannot say Indonesia is mature enough to about nanomaterials, something like that, especially for nanoscience, something like that. Because right now I just know about the department, something like that, about nanoscience. It's only in one university, I think. Yes, one university, and it's a new program on 2022, I think, like that. And there have we have no like what is kind of government department about nanoscience, something like that. So specifically because in Thailand, uh, they have department, something like that. So they develop more. The government. I have like joined in like some kind of workshop, something like that. The speaker is from the government department about the material, something like that. They also have developed about how 3D print, how to nanoscience, uh, have a big impact in their life. So they like develop more than Indonesia, I think. Maybe in Indonesia we have like to more concern about these things because not just in, I'm sorry, maybe it's kind of sensitive thing, but just only on politics thing because we live in a modern era, so we have to follow the trend so we can stand together with other country, especially at least we have to stand same as Singapore. I think it's like a not Singapore, maybe Malaysia or Thailand or something like that.
So our goals, just like my thought, at least our goal is like to be working together in the same trends with Thailand, right? Okay, how about you, Fendi?
Hmm. Yeah, I think I agree with Kai. Actually, we have a lot of resources. I mean, like natural resources that can be like utilized. Some things because as we know that Indonesia is one of the country that has mega biodiversity. Like we have a lot of plants and also we have a lot of animal that live there. So I think there's a lot of like uh, what can I say, like plants or like application of plants or something like the nature apa, what is it called, like yeah, something like natural resources that can be applicated in nano materials or something like application of the bio nanomaterials in some kind of field, something like that. But when we talk about the how mature enough the Indonesian government or maybe in general, I think yeah, it's like so like 50-50. It's because but today I think there's a one of government like part. It's called Nano Center Indonesia, something like that. They develop a lot of nano things, like not only in a medical but also in energy and also in some kind of textile and there's a lot of. But yeah, we, as you mentioned before, we have a lot of um, intelligent people, but we don't have enough equipment that can support our knowledge or that can expand our knowledge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. May I have to like say I kind of agree with both of you. And to even mention about the politics, right? There is like one saying in one of our Indonesia ex-ministers said, Indonesia will never satisfies both pessimists and both optimists. They will always like disappoint both of them. Because yeah, just like you say, so and so, we have the positive thing was we do have good lot of resources. We do have a lot of intelligent people who can actually make work of it, utilize and make many application of it. But the pessimist says, no, we don't have the money for it, right? Yeah, the money was already on the politics or something like that. Which I also cannot say it was a good and bad thing because like even like I got some lecture talking about the project management, the project, any project, any kind of project, whether it was like construction project or maybe yeah, just like you say, right? Making a government or making one of the departments, something like that. It's also one of the project, right? Yeah, and project will always be related to the politics, because it was also because politics also we're talking about regulation, right? And it was based on the regulation whether the trend will go on or not. In this current trend, we're talking about the energy and infrastructure, but I don't think that soon enough. Like maybe we need more younger government to be able to realize that this kind of field scope of work, this kind of field of knowledge is also very important to us, right? Because it's related to the our healthcare and our well-being as a human, right? And improvement of our life quality, something like that. Okay, maybe we go to the next session. We call maybe this session we'll talking about the motivation, about motivational. Okay. Uh, Aside from your taking the scholarship, like if and you are and even before that you are taking the internship or yeah taking internship going here as an exchange program student. Did you also have other activities, regarding to your well, while you are being a student, maybe taking some organizational stuff or something like that? Yeah, you can give us your thought or maybe like how important that your activity actually to help you boost not only your not only your relation but maybe some of your soft skills as well.
You don't have a lot of experience about it.
All right.
No, well, actually, I have some organizations. What can I say? Like that I have joined when I was in an undergraduate. But yeah, the things that important in organization is that how can we like organize all of the things together with other people, and um the what can I say, like when we work together with the other people we can know the other perspective, and by the time we can also like feel that like maybe we have friends, and we like know, oh, I think he is not comfortable enough with us or something like that. So that's the thing that may be useful for me today, because when we work in a lab we have to like um, not um, not seeing in our perspective, but we have to know the other's perspective. That's why we have to like ask or like making conversation with other people in a lab, so that that kind of active activity can like support maybe our, what can I say, like, yeah, yeah, interpersonal skill, something like that. Okay.
Yes. For me, I think just because I have no many about experience about the organization or something like this, so maybe I cannot tell a lot about it. But I agree with Ben, because when we meet a lot of people, so we know how to face uh, a lot of kind of people. We have like different personalities each other, like, so we have we know how to face this one. Maybe we can act different each people. So yeah, it can help me to get more bonding with others, something like that. So, and the other things like sometime and a lot of time when I join in some organization, I I have to like in multimedia team. So because of that, I have like uh how to make something creative. So from that, I can, yeah, expend my time to uh creative thinking, something like that. So yeah, maybe something like that.
Actually, Kaif have like experience, maybe not in organization, but in like spiritual things,
Spiritual thing. What kind of spiritual?
like a religion, something like that. You have already like joined the Mahat or something like that. Maybe
Oh,
in that you can share,
yeah.
yeah, like different perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, okay. I have experience about it, maybe, but I feel like I'm not that religious because when I in we can call it mahad or like a boarding school. In boarding school, I have like I feel I'm not that religious as similar with other persons. So I think like I'm in the ground and they're in the upstairs, something like that. So I just sometimes I kind of feel like insecure, something like that, about religious things. Because when I in my boarding school in my university, undergrad university, all of my friends is from we have they have a strong basic about religious, but not for me. So at the time, I feel like, oh, I can follow them. So I just walk behind them. So yeah, it's like I feel insecure or something like that. But sometimes, because in religious things, like in discussion is about talking about the law about the Sharia, something like that. But something I kind of feel boring about it, because I have the law is just like we have the static law sometime, but we have also dynamic law, so we can change a little bit to uh process in other problems. But sometimes I kind of feel boring about why can we discuss about the other things, maybe about the scientific things at that time, because it's like why they always discuss about the law, this law, this law, this law, because it's like for me it's not really necessary for my future. It's like a liberal thing, I think, because yeah, but right now I understand why they always discuss about that thing, because especially in Indonesia we have uh learn more about that, because we facing like the people that just know about the religious, so like we have to lead them to, yes, to get more information about
Okay. I think that was also one of the additional information. Quite good information. I mean, yeah, as you can see, right, that's also related to the previous question talking about Indonesia. One of the problem also we still have so many majority with the conservatism minded, which mean they are very traditional, very following the Sharia, and this kind of type of people is are the one who can be steered politically. So yeah, also somehow it was related to the previous question, talking about the Indonesian trends itself. And also I like to highlight one of both of you points talking about the organization. I think talking about the soft skill, one of the skills that we are really needed is to be able to be fair and also open minded. I mean, like, we cannot please people, right? We cannot please all the people. There is always be the people who will not like you, whether it was like personally, objectively, or maybe subjective. I'm sorry. Yeah, whether it was objective or subjective. Yeah, but it's their rights, and we don't have, the control of it. The thing that we only can control is ourselves, right? So I think one of the experience that we've got, one of the knowledge that we got, aside from the educational only, like organizational, is also very very important to us, right? And speaking of which, speaking of the skills, right? I would ask to you, both of you guys, what quality, or how should I say, what does it takes to be able to be uh nanomaterial scientist, or maybe to be able to take the master degree to Chulalongkorn University student? What it takes actually, for your perspective.
yeah. Actually, the first thing that you should have is like you have not to worry, not afraid to something mistake, I think, because the nanoscience or nanomaterial is like try to gonna try to find a new material, something like that, and uh the the new one, the efficient. So with that, we have to do something like a lot of experiments. So this is like maybe for someone it bring like a big pressure for them, because we have to do more experiment and more searching or something like that. So for the nanoscience student, maybe if you want to join with us, so you can, yeah, you should be able to receive a lot of pressure, I think, and also not afraid to do something like that.
Maybe the basic thing that you have to like know is about the nanoscience itself. So basically, nanoscience is a wide range, right? So then, do you have any experience in like application of nanomaterial or something like that? Maybe in your undergraduate, you have a practical things or something like that, right? And maybe you can like expand it, or maybe you interested in one of the scope that like develop the bio nanomaterials or nanomaterials in a general or something like that. Maybe, yeah. But the basic things that you have to know is about the nanoscience itself. Okay.
For the administration thing is not really difficult for Chula nanoscience. It's like a easy requirement for the nanoscience in Chula. You just have to send your what's it called, transcript or something. Yes, something like that. And you just like need a not high GPA. Yes, just 3, I think, something like that. And the TOEFL is quite low. Yes, this is 400. 400. Yes, minimum. Or for 415. So it's not that high because I, as I said, for the administration things like quite easy to apply in nanoscience Chula, but maybe the hard things is how you can find your advisor and make them sure that I I I can join with nanoscience in Chula. Yeah.
Okay, that's also quite one of the new information that I got, right? Even though that, yeah, even though that, when I was joined in the petroleum and energy technology, PPC Chula, the requirement asked me to take the TOEFL for the minimum requirement for the TOEFL is around 550, I would think. So yeah, it's much lower and much easier. So yeah, you guys, whether you want to go to the nanoscience or still interested in biology, you can go to Chula. You will find him both, right? Maybe me as well. Because we have same building. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Maybe the third question for this session. Any future thought actually about your current study? I mean, like maybe also say or maybe give you recommendation to the people who might be still, maybe there will be any student, high school student who watching this, who still want to, still be curious, or maybe still didn't decide, undecided, still not deciding whether they will go into the biology thing, something like that or not, or yeah, or maybe to the people who already like took the biology but still wasn't quite sure of what they are doing, something like that. Yeah, we have so many people like that, right? Maybe you can give, give the thought, or maybe yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, I was on the same phase as that because when I took biology as my major, I feel like, am I in the right major or not, or something like that. But by the time um, when you like enjoying the process, you can like maybe curious about one thing, then you like take deep into that, and maybe you can find any scope or area that maybe you can like um, interest, something like that. Yeah. Well, okay. When we talk about biology, biology is a wide range, right? But in the future, biology is still useful not only for the biology things, but also in a interdisciplinary things, such as like chemistry. There is a biochemistry, in a physics there is a biophysics and something like that. So in the technology we have a biotechnology or something like that. So it's taking biology is not is not wrong, I think. And yeah, it's a good thing. Just enjoy the process, I think.
Okay. Um, I think for the one who wants to apply in undergrad degree or in any degree, the one thing is like uh what will you choose is like what major that maybe you in the future you can comfort with that major and you can handle the courses, all the things about that. Not only like I oh no I can this join major because I follow my friend because I see this is like I have this major. When I graduate from this major, I can apply in some kind of works, something like that, because maybe it's I influenced from my parents, from my mom, especially like she said like when you study, you don't have to look about how can you become because the education is like for you right now and the future but not about the money because it is about like your knowledge your mindset something like that. So with study you have to control yourself and know how to the position something like that. So for someone when want to apply in undergrad or some major, so you make sure that you can do this in that major and you feel comfort, something like that. Then for the biology, some kind of people is like say the basic majors like biology, physics, and mathematics, something like that. It some people, not all, some people said like they have like a dark future. You know what I mean? Yeah, because we learn we study in like a basic major, so after we graduate we cannot find a job specific just because we don't study in specific major, something like that. But for me, no, because when I learn in biology, we have a lot of things because we learn about anything that's related in biology, like Penn said before, like zoology, botany, something like that. So from all of them, we can just choose one as for like undergrad thesis. That from that one, we can choose one and we can focus what our interest. From that, we can continue our study to more specific, something like that. So I think it's not really dark because from this basic major we can choose and we can learn a lot and we know more about that uh what will we gonna choose in the future or something like that.
Okay, that's very interesting. Maybe I will like give the thought about Kaif's statement. I'll give you a little fact. Little fact. As a matter of fact, did you know that in PPC there's one Indonesian student who got the how should I say the best student, got the award of best student, and her bachelor degree was chemistry, pure chemistry, and she's currently on the doctorate on petrochemistry. I'm sorry, yeah. So it was, yeah, just like I think the thing was talking about the natural science, right? It was quite interesting because you have so many option, yeah, to be able like, yeah, to be able to like choose a new one, right? I think it's also have same condition with my background also, because my background is kind of like chemical engineer, so it can go anywhere. I think it's also same goes by the natural science student as well. And as a matter of fact, the next episode of By One, I think the guest will be also still on the natural science, especially on the chemistry, but I still don't quite sure who will be able to actually join. Yeah, yeah. But I hope that the next episode will be as planned, as go as planned, something like that. Okay. I think that would be all. But before we wrap this up, any final thought or any final verdict or maybe closing statement, I would say, from you guys to maybe to the viewers. or maybe to the people who, yeah, just like I said, who still undecided, to maybe to our adik-adik, yeah, or to our, yeah, yeah, the younger generation. Yeah, we've been this old enough to talk about this. We are old enough to talk about this, right? So yeah, maybe to the maybe the bachelor, or maybe the the bachelor degree, uh the one who still took the bachelor degree in biology or something like that. Yeah, can you maybe give closing statement to them as well?
Hey, why only me? Okay, maybe this is like not motivation. Also, it's not like a what in Indonesia is kata-kata mutiara. I don't know in English or something like that. It's not like that, but maybe it's like the word or the sentence that motivate me, because when you study, you should know yourself, and you should know about your abilities, and if you tired of run, you can walk, but just don't stop. Yes, something like that.
Right. Okay, that was quite one of good closing statement, I think. So I think that will be all. Fendi, there's no final thought from you? Okay. I think that will be all. This is very special by one episode, because not only one. I think, yeah, it's by two, I think, yeah. But I don't know. I still put it, the title is still by one, I think. Okay, but anyway, thank you so much, Kaif and Fendi, to be able to spare your time to me being asking some of the question. Maybe it was too general, or maybe it was too specific, I don't know. But I hope this video found its viewer in the right condition and in the right time, and maybe it will be like motivate to those who still got, or who still hasn't decided their current works or current scope of work as well. So yeah, that will be all. Okay, so thank you and see you around. Yee-hoo!